a few of you don't know my story, about me, like 100%. So I just wanted to clarify a couple things, just so you guys know. And I'm really sorry that I didn't, do my vlogs in order, and told you girls more about myself, more in a detail. So I want to start off by saying that yes, I had surgery done. I had a septum uterus, which was diagnosed maybe 3-4 years ago, and I had surgery done last year, not 3-4 years ago. I think it was like 2 or 3 years ago. So I had my septum uterus that I didn't even know that I had. I had a surgery for it done twice last year. The first time I did it was because my doctor, she's a specialist. So I totally trust her when she told me that she had to go back and do the surgery over, just because there was still more of the septum there, within my uterus. And for you that don't know what a septum uterus is, it's a dysformality of the uterus. And I will put a link below just so you guys can read on it if you guys want to. Before I was diagnosed with the septum uterus, I had no idea that anything like that would even existed. Any type of uterus dysformalities. I thought everybody had a normal uterus. So, when I was diagnosed with that, I thought that, okay, am I gonna die, or what's gonna happen? Am I gonna be able to have kids? Yeah, so I just decided to, look more into it after I found out about it. And my doctor, my doctor that I have now that performed the surgery, wasn't the one who diagnosed me with. It was another doctor, and after she told me, I did this whole trip. I went to Dominican Republic, where I'm from, to see a specialist over there who was recommended to me. So I went over there, and my doctor over there told me that this is what it is. This is what you should get. A surgery is not always a need, but when you do have the surgery, when you do have the surgery, it just really takes away so much risk of miscarriages, and not withholding a full-term pregnancy. So those are the risks that you do have if you do have your septum uterus, and you know and you don't get the surgery done. So I really didn't want to go through all that, so I decided to go through my surgery. And after my second surgery, my doctor, she said that everything's fine, that my uterus is as normal as can be, that is not gonna, my uterus kind of looks like a heart, like this now, kind of like this. Before it was like this. So this whole part in the middle was the septum that was dividing my uterus into two. So yeah, I'll put a link underneath just so you guys get a little bit of information on it. Another thing that I wanted to talk about was my miscarriage that I had. I had a miscarriage in November, early November. As you all know, I went on a trip to Puerto Rico with my husband. It was our surprise. It was my surprise to him, to go to Puerto Rico, and I did put a video up. So if you guys didn't see it, go check it out. It's really funny. But I did go to Puerto Rico, not knowing that I was pregnant. I mean, I was planning this trip and trying to keep it a secret, and work and everything was keeping me so busy that I just really didn't know. I wasn't like even thinking about it, and before that time, we really weren't I wasn't monitoring myself. I wasn't checking my temperature. I wasn't charting. I wasn't doing anything. We were just going with it. I didn't even know when I was ovulating. I assumed I was ovulating 14 days after my period, but everybody's different. I come to find, and not everybody ovulates at the same time. So yeah, so when I decided to when I decided to actually start my video vlogging was after my miscarriage, that I started going to YouTube for encouragement and me start vlogging and being part of this community, because I just found that not only was I getting a little bit of healing, should I say, by seeing you girls, you know, sharing your ttc'ing journey and your stories after miscarriages and all that stuff, but I wanted to give to this community as well, and that's why I started vlogging. So I didn't know I was pregnant. When I come back from Puerto Rico, which was only within a week, well, 5 days, we were in Puerto Rico for 5 days, I noticed that I did miss my period while we were over there, and I decided that I was going to test when I come back. But the day that we came back, I was so exhausted. I couldn't even walk. I was so tired. And I didn't understand why. I just really thought that it was because of the trip. But we really didn't do much in Puerto Rico. Like, it was raining, a tornado had just passed, or a hurricane, I don't know, something. We didn't do a lot of activities. We actually relaxed a lot, like slept through the days. We did go out, but we weren't doing heavy activities. We didn't do snorkeling, which was one of our plans to do. We didn't go, I don't know, we just didn't do so much activities. So when I come back, you know, I felt that way. So I go, you know, that whole day after coming back, we just vegged in the house, and the next day I had to go back to work, and that's when it happened. Because I do a lot of heavy lifting at my job, a lot of standing up, running around. I'm a visual merchandiser, so I'm always moving things and, you know, just going crazy. So could that have been what had made what made the miscarriage happen? Maybe, but maybe not. So I cannot just blame it on that, which, you know, at first I was blaming it on that, and I was like, oh, I hate my job and all this stuff. I was feeling all these type of emotions, but that's not the reason. That, you know, that's probably not the reason why it happened, and I will never know why it happened. But, you know, it's just things that you just have to take it for what it is, and without trying to find so many explanations on why it happened, and just press forward and go forward, you know. And that was my mentality. Oh my god, why am I crying? I guess because it still hurts. Okay, so I just wanted to you know, just clarify that I didn't touch that topic just because, I don't know, I just didn't want to talk about it, you know. And it's been a couple months already, and you see that it still hurts, you know. And even though I probably wasn't even more than 5 weeks, you know, it's still a life, you know. From the second that there's something inside of you, it's a life, you know, no matter what. An embryo, a little egg, whatever you want to call it, it's still a life, okay? And, you know, a lot of people didn't understand that, like, oh, you know, you weren't that far along, and you'll have more, everything happens for a reason, all this stuff. And it just was things that I really didn't want to hear, you know. The people that I used to talk to about it, which were not many, because I didn't want to talk to a lot of people about it, they would just say these things that I'm like, oh my god, like, how dare you, you know. And I would really take it to offense. But when I started going to YouTube and reading upon, you know, the stories that you girls were sharing, you know, I don't know, I started feeling at peace. And yeah, thank you to all my new subscribers. That Launder Life Challenge has really upped my subscribers, so thank you so much for subscribing. If I haven't subscribed back to you, I am going to go through all my new subscribers and, you know, just send a thank you and subscribe to your page as well. And I guess I'll talk to you girls later.